The Becker BK40. It's their new folding knife. Oh yeah, made in China. Right on the top of the blade. I'll be taking a Dremel and grinding that off. You know, the normal, whatever they call them, whatever his name for this plastic scales are. I think it's Grivery or Grivex, or the synthetic, soft, smooth scales that some people like, some people complain about. AUS-8A, non-skeletonized full liners, liner lock, on bronze phosphorus washers. I don't know if you can see that in there. So the Lynch clip I added, this is what came with it. It was tip down carry, and it was just horribly a hot spot right there when I grabbed the knife. I stuck it here, and this is just a cheesy clip in my opinion. It's really flimsy, and because this is a smooth surface, it was sliding all over the place when I'd grab it, and I would have bent this the first time I used it. So I looked at these slots and I said, hey, let's try my Lynch clip off my everyday carry. You can see this one's mangled, and this is a strong clip. I just don't do well with the wire clips, so the Lynch clips have been the best thing, the wire clip replacement. It actually fits in there. I had to use a longer screw. The one that came with it, this is what comes on the knife, is too short. I have tons of extra screws laying around, went right in, and it's legit. It's unbelievably comfortable. You don't even feel that there. That's how nice it is. Now, when I get the pricing, you're going to see this is half the cost of the knife, so that's up to you if you want to do something. But if this is a knife that you do want to carry in your pocket, not put in a slip or a bag, because in my opinion, this should just come off. I mean, that's just my opinion, though. You know how opinions are. $39.95. It's dropped at Knife Center, Knife Works, Smoky. I think Knife Works is already sold out as of yesterday. 3.56. Overall length 8.5. AUS-8A 0.138. And weight is 4.8 ounces. I thought it was interesting because this is made in China to take a look at these other blades. This is a real steel I bought very early into my knife journey. You know, when you're buying different things, not knowing, I mean, it's not a bad knife. I'm not going to knock it. But you buy things based on, you're not really sure what you're like in the hobby. Look at the similarities there, in my opinion. And the reason why I brought this out is because just the construction of it from China just reminds me of this real steel, especially the liners. And this cutout's a little bit better made. You can see it's tapered for your hand a little bit better. And it's not really tall right here where it's going to hurt you ergonomically. But just the feel of the knife feels very similar. And then this tenacious, if you look at the tenacious, the same kind of deal, the liners. Now this is skeletonized obviously, but just everything about the way this feels, it just feels almost from the same factory in China. I'm not saying that's true, but when you get into the hobby, if you're doing it long enough, people will understand what I'm talking about. You could feel just when you get it in your hand almost where it's coming from. I know that's a weird statement, but decent action. It is on phosphorus bronze washers, bronze phosphorus washers. It was a little gritty when I got it, and I just went back and forth. It does not have a ramp for the detent ball, which is fine. I mean, at this price point, it's a little awkward to push out here. Just slow roll it, but it does work. I found because the detent's so good, just flicking it out works like that. At least from my hands. And how slick this is, it just feels funny rolling it out. It does have a good detent. It won't pop out on its own. You can see that cutout I'm talking about, on the liner lock. Just very, very comfortable handle, just like you would expect on the design from Ethan Becker. So you can look at my BK16 and you can see the similarities there. And this one does have the palm swell in the middle here. So the scales, once again, you can see it there. And this one also has it. So for the cost, I'd say it's a decent knife. How it's going to handle up, you know, whatever you're going to use it for, is it hard use? I don't think so. And also the stop pin is internal. I don't know if you can see that in there. So the stop pin is two, you know, pieces that come off the actual blade, and then it stops internally. So it does not have an external stop pin on it up here like we would normally see, you know, like right here, like in most knives that you see, where that comes up and then hits the blade. I'm not saying that's not strong. I'm just saying I just thought that was a little different to have an internal stop pin. Everything feels good. There's no lock stick. I was going to try this on video. I've never done it before, just because the weight feels a little heavier than what it actually. Let's see if this thing works. So the real steel is 5.10. I mean, you can feel it's heavy. I think it's because of scales. And this one is 4.9, and it says 4.8, so it's pretty much right on the money. So that's like I said, the G10 Manix without the skeletonized liners. So it's something you're in. This is the packaging. I never thought I'd be buying a KA-BAR, you know, in the clamshell packaging, but that's how it comes, you know, compared to the standard American-made box. So if it's something that you're interested in, the design is definitely there. I did hear that Hogue made the prototype. It was an American-made. I would definitely pay $100 more, you know, for 154 cm or made by Hogue. You know, Ritter's been doing it. I don't see why KA-BAR couldn't do it, but maybe they just wanted to keep this price point down, you know, under the 40 or 50 bucks. Time will tell. We'll see how good it is. But Ergonomics, it's really, really nice. The Becker BK40.